Hello and welcome to Food Neighbourhoods on Monocle Radio. I'm Monica Lillis, and once again we're taking you to the places locals love for their food and drink. Mexico City's Colonia Roma was born in the early 1900s as a European-inspired enclave for middle classes and the elite. It's a place that has survived earthquakes, been invented through artistic movements, and today its tree-lined streets offer a culinary experience as layered and diverse as its Art Deco, neoclassical and colonial revival architecture. From blue corn quesadillas on street corners to specialist Mexican coffee, this area's food outposts offer an abundance of the best the nation has to offer. Here, Verity de Cala meets the people behind Roma's iconic street food and cafés.
The sun is peeking through the branches as I walk through Plaza Rio de Janeiro, past Mexico's own replica of the Statue of David. I'm making my way to Birria, Jalisco, where you'll find some of the best birria tacos in Mexico City. Mexico City has a vibrant street food culture with over 75% of the population dining out at least once a week. It's accessible, steeped in history, and for the most part, incredibly high quality. Traditionally, birria comes from the state of Jalisco made with goat's meat, and the earliest recipes were crafted by indigenous communities there. José Manuel has been serving tacos to tourists and locals here in Roma Norte for over 30 years. Birria de res, or beef birria, has evolved from this tradition and is what José Manuel serves me with a hot side of consommé broth, which he serves smothered over the tacos. José Manuel tells me it's a laborious process. It takes several hours for beef to become tender and flavourful, typically 3 to 4, or even longer. He says that's why people come here. He makes all his salsas by hand. Chile de árbol is a spicy Mexican salsa made with dried arbol chilies, known for their heat and earthy flavour. José makes it with a bit of habanero for added spice. Sitting next to me is a couple listening in on the conversation. They tell me they've been coming here for more than 10 years.
¿Y por qué te gusta esta birria? El sabor que tiene aquí no hay aquí cerca. Sí. Y además es muy agradable esta birria.
She says the flavour here is unlike any around. José's own combination of traditional birria spices, which involves a blend of black peppercorns, bay leaves, cinnamon, cumin, plus his welcoming charm, has kept them coming back. As I leave José Manuel's charm and his devoted regulars, I head to one of Roma's many cherished but perhaps most unique cafés, Post. Mexico is a major coffee-producing country, with coffee coming from regions like Chiapas, Veracruz and Oaxaca. But outside of Mexico, the country has had a reputation of being poorer quality than some of its Latin American counterparts.
The world is starting to pay attention that some of the best coffee is coming from Mexico.
Miguel, founder and co-owner of Post, is trying to help change that in a city where there is an ever-growing interest and demand in specialty coffee.
You find a lot of coffees here that are super similar to African coffees or Colombian coffees, and it's new to everyone, outside of Mexico. You get a lot of expressive coffees from Mexico, and it's not these caramelly, chocolatey coffees. You could find very fruity, herbal coffees, kind of like the one that you're drinking today. We just came back from the Danish Coffee Festival, and then this year we were invited by the SCA in Denmark to attend, which was really nice because we also they sort of sponsored our tickets, so we didn't have to pay. Yeah, exactly. So they invited us and we went, and it's nice because we were the only Mexican, or the only people from outside of Europe that had a booth. And people are paying attention to Mexico as like the next Peru. And so you're starting to see it, but it's still not.
It's not quite there.
It's not quite there.
Post specializes in light roast coffee, which means trying to develop the coffee in a way that doesn't create too much smokiness in the flavor.
And I think the best way to think about it is like bread. It's like if you toast your bread, you could toast it so much that it creates this layer of black sort of burntness on your bread. And if you taste it, it's going to be so overwhelming to your palate, right? Because it has this like charred taste and flavor. And with light roast, the idea is like roasting the coffee in such a way that you develop it correctly, but you don't get those off flavors, so you only taste the, where the coffee comes from, how fermentation process, all of this stuff, to try to get a very clean, balanced, taste.
That's something I definitely need to try.
Yeah?
Should we go and try it?
Yeah, let's go and try it.
Yeah, cool.
But, so we use these very nice grinders from an Australian brand called Optional, and they're very big burrs. We love the flavor that they make. Our style in espresso, it's like we're quite coarse on how we grind coffee, and we try to extract as much as possible from the bean. So we do a lot of experiments to try to get the best flavor out of it. But we found that we're actually, for our style of roasting, we're pulling espressos, in 6 seconds. We also have a machine that's called a slayer, and it allows us to change the pressure as you extract the coffee, which is really nice because a lot of coffees that we get that maybe have a higher gas content, we need to degasify so that maybe it's not so bitter, remove some of the bitterness. So it really allows us to control the extraction. And for this recipe that we have for this specific espresso, we're not using any post-infusion, and we're extracting it pretty high. So that was 10 seconds for this espresso. Yeah, that's that.
Is that on? Can I try that one?
That's it.
Beautiful.
Is it like it?
You're right, I hadn't tasted an espresso like that before. That is utterly delicious.
Thanks. Yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Where does the coffee come from that you get? What's the sort of process of it literally coming to this shop?
For us, in terms of where we find coffee, is we work with one family right now in Oaxaca. When you go to the farms, you realize how hard it is to get coffee and the process that it takes to harvest it and ferment it and everything, getting to up until the roastery. It's so important to have high consistency with preparing it because we know how difficult it is to make it. And we know the families that make these coffees, right? It's we know the dogs' names of the owners of the farms, right? It's very important for us to do the best job that we can because the families that depend on us are, very close to us. This is a shop where it's an owner-operated shop and it's a co-op. So it's me and the other guy that works here is a barista, but he's also the owner. And we're very passionate about what we do, and we work here every single day, and it's going to remain this. It's a big part of the project for us to work in the space and do our best to brew the coffee really well, roast the coffee really well, and have high consistency. It's I think the thing that people walk away with is that we're very passionate about this project.
Post, which attracts coffee enthusiasts from around the world, is firmly situated in the community, supporting and promoting Mexican coffee while bringing something new to the scene. Before I head out of Roma, I quickly have time to stop by one of Roma's most cherished and now Instagram famous spots, Jenny's Quesadillas. Although Jenny ran out of flor de calabaza, which is a pumpkin flower quesadilla, I did get my mushroom quesadilla. As I eat, I watch Jenny simultaneously cook 20 orders, waving and greeting almost every other passerby. It's here where Roma's balance of global appeal with its neighbourhood soul really come into play. At 11 a.m. every day, locals and visitors flock here to queue for one of Jenny's blue masa quesadillas. Cooked fresh in front of you, here it feels like Jenny's created an opportunity as people of all nationalities wait in line, eat and chat, sprawled out on the streets of Roma. For Monocle, in Mexico City, I'm Verity de Cala.
Food Neighbourhoods is a Monocle production from the team behind the menu. This episode was written and edited by Verity de Cala. For more food and drink stories, tune into the menu every Friday at 2000 London time. I'm Monica Lillis. Thanks for listening.